Very much, Mr. Sadka, for sharing that. We have another breaking news coming in from Iran. According to reports, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is not currently in Tehran. According to official sources, he has been transferred to a secure location. Further details on Khamenei's whereabouts remain unconfirmed. The situation in Iran continues to develop. Now we welcome back our guest, Mr. Aaron Levarko. He's an Israeli journalist, joins us live from Netanya. Mr. Levarko, what's your take on this latest development that has just come in, that, the reports say that the supreme leader in Iran has been moved to a safe location. We do not know where exactly, but this has been said. And also, what's your take on current capacity of Iran, as Mr. Sadka shared with us?
Well, I think Mr. Sadka's analysis was extremely accurate, and I would agree with his assessment. We know the Iranians have got a mass amount of these ballistic missiles, and actually, I've read reports that possibly even supersonic missiles. If they haven't already purchased them, they're on their way to them from the Russians or the Chinese. So, these cause an incredible amount of damage, and as your distinguished guest said, about 30% of the missiles got through, and that is very concerning, very alarming for us residents that live here. While we do have a fantastic defense system, the Iron Dome, the David Sling, the Tomahawk missile, defense missiles, and the latest developed iron laser missiles, the Iron Beam, which has yet to be really tested in a war. We're on edge. We're close to our bomb shelters. Regarding the supreme leader of Iran, I'm sure our intelligence knows, or at least knew, that he's not in that residence, and that he's found a safe place somewhere.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ellie Richardson and you are watching The World Report on NewsX World. We start this with some breaking news. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, are preparing to call up approximately 70,000 reservists following the joint US-Israel attack on Iran. The decision comes as tensions in the region continue to rise in the wake of the military strikes. According to reports, the call-up is expected to bolster Israel's defense capabilities in light of the escalation situation. Furthermore, military officials are bracing for further developments, with the possibility of additional calls for military support. We have some more breaking news coming into you now. At least 40 people were killed following a strike in a girls' school in southern Iran, according to state media reports. The attack took place in Minab, located in Hormozgan province, with 45 others reported injured in the strike. The victims were primarily students, though the full details of the casualties have yet to be confirmed. The strike follows heightened tensions in the region after recent attacks launched by Israel and the United States, which have contributed to a volatile security situation. This attack adds to the growing list of civilian casualties in the ongoing regional conflict, underscoring the rising risks faced by vulnerable populations in the Middle East. We are now being joined by Xavier Abu Eid, who is a Middle East expert, joining us from Palestine. Thank you so much for joining us here today on NewsX World, and for all these breaking updates that are coming in linked to Israel, US and Iran. As we heard, that 40 people have unfortunately been killed in a school from attacks. Now, what can you tell us about this rising escalation going on now and how it's now getting worse and the build-up of it all in the Middle East?
Thank you. I would just try to put things in context, understand that this is an act of aggression. You don't need to like the Iranian government in order to understand that what has been conducted today by Israel and the US is an act that undermines international law. There is no Security Council resolution in support of what is taking place now. And as we heard from the Omani foreign minister, the mediator on the nuclear negotiations between the US and Iran, they were just 24 hours away from an agreement. So in other words, here we're not even talking about the possibility of any country claiming to try to defend their own security. Here, what we are talking about is an act of aggression that is taking the whole region into an escalation that doesn't serve anyone. And we should remember that all countries in this region, with the exception of Israel, were strongly lobbying against this attack.
And we have heard that Israel Defense Forces have called up approximately 70,000 reservists following the joint US-Israel attack in Iran. How this is obviously sending a clear message that this isn't going to end anytime soon. What do you think of them of this happening, calling up 70,000?
They also have thousands of soldiers already busy here with the occupation of the West Bank, as well as with the continuous attacks against Gaza. We should remember that here we are not absent from the acts of aggression of the Israeli occupation. And another important element is that whether Israel wants to attack another country or not, I would say that one of the first points that the international community should care about is about the security and safety of over 3 million Palestinians here in the occupied West Bank. We have no shelters, we have no sirens, we have no warnings, absolutely nothing here. But Israel, which in theory, as the occupying power, is in charge of the security of people here, they truly don't care. So calling up another 70,000 soldiers, reservists into the Israeli army is something that will play alongside what Israel seeks in terms of regional escalation. Let's remember they are also attacking Lebanon at the same time. So it's a very difficult and complicated situation for the whole region.
Thank you, Xavier. Please don't go anywhere, as we'll be joining back with you soon. We've got some more breaking news coming in. Several oil majors and top trading houses have suspended crude oil and fuel shipments via the Strait of Hormuz amid ongoing US and Israeli attacks on Iran and Tehran's retaliation. According to trading sources, shipments will remain halted for several days as the situation continues to escalate. The suspension has added further uncertainty to global oil markets, with shipping routes in the region increasingly impacted. Furthermore, concerns over rising tensions and potential disruptions continue to grow. Meanwhile, authorities are closely monitoring the situation. We have got some more breaking news for you. The UAE authorities have said that its air defense systems successfully intercepted a second wave of Iranian missile strikes targeting the country. The Ministry of Defense confirmed that the missiles were intercepted before they could cause significant damage. Fragments of the intercepted missiles fell across several areas of Abu Dhabi, including Saadiyat Island, Kafilia City, Bani Yas, Mohammed bin Zayed City, and Al Falah. However, authorities have confirmed that there were no reported injuries or damage in these locations. This latest wave of missile strikes follows an earlier attack that resulted in the death of one civilian and several others injured. The UAE has condemned the attacks and reiterated its readiness to defend its territory against any further threats. We are now being joined by Roshan Gawani, who is an anchor and correspondent for NewsX World, joining us from the newsroom. Thank you, Roshan, for joining us here for these breaking news. Now, as we know, there has been previous strikes, as we've just said, has killed one civilian. And now there's been even more. What more can you tell us about these second wave of strikes?
Yeah, essentially with regards to the strikes, Ellie, airlines have canceled almost 40% of flights to Israel and 6.7% of flights to the broader region. This comes as no surprise. Of course, that is unfortunate news with regards to that civilian who was essentially struck down by that missile and the strike. Now, out of the 107 flights to Israel that have been scheduled, 40 have been canceled. Data from the UK-based analytics firm showed 232 flights out of the 3,422 flights scheduled for the region were canceled. Of course, travel advisories indicate that citizens in those regions from other countries should be evacuated, or they should definitely call a helpline or email a source of interest to them, to helping them to essentially get out of the region. But of course, it will be difficult with the airlines having canceled all the flights. Back to you, Ellie.
Thank you, Roshan. Please stay with us as we'll be back with you very shortly. We now have some more breaking news. Airlines have cancelled almost 40% of flights to Israel and 6.7% of flights across the broader region. According to reports from UK-based Cerium, 40 out of 107 flights scheduled to Israel have been cancelled. Additionally, 232 flights have been cancelled out of 3,422 flights scheduled across the region, which includes Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Iran, Oman, Israel, Jordan and Bahrain. Further disruptions are expected as the situation develops, with the region's aviation sector facing mounting challenges. We're now being rejoined again by Roshan in the newsroom. Thank you, Roshan, for joining us back here for this development. So as we've just heard, there's many flight disruptions being cancelled, delayed. What more can you tell us about this situation?
Yeah, Ellie, I think essentially the potential for a regional war is what all of this indicates, right? All those countries that you just mentioned, Jordan, Kuwait, essentially the UAE, what Iran is doing is they want a definitive answer on the fact that what they have set out to do will take place, right? And they want to protect their nation, they want to protect their interests. But of course, with the Israel and US alliance, this might be very difficult. Trump has his own initiative, and of course, Iran has their own initiative. So how this will all play out, in my mind, is the fact that a regional war will take place. Back to you, Ellie.
Thank you, Roshan. Again, please stay with us. Some more breaking news for you now. Bahrain has announced the evacuation of residents from a neighborhood housing the headquarters of the US Navy's 5th Fleet after it was targeted by Iranian missiles earlier today. The country's Ministry of Interior confirmed the missile strike in the Jafar area, urging citizens and residents to cooperate with authorities during this evacuation process. In a statement, the ministry called for calm and emphasized that the evacuation was a precautionary measure following the attack. No casualties have been reported so far, but the missile strike marks an alarming escalation in the ongoing tensions in the Gulf region, particularly involving Iran and its advisories. We're now being rejoined again by Roshan. Thank you for rejoining us back here for this latest development. Now, as we know earlier on, there have been some strikes in Bahrain and from Iran, and now they're saying for their citizens and residents to take shelter. What do you think about this situation, and is it getting increasingly more severe as more countries are having to tell their people that they need to take cover?
Yeah, Ellie, the tensions are definitely rising, right? That's exactly what we're talking about right now. Let me give you some context as to how far or how high the tensions can rise. Iran has called on the United Nations to hold an emergency meeting. If the international community does not respond to the aggression, it will be the end of international institutions. Now, this is a quote from Iran itself. So what is that saying exactly? That Iran will not stop today. These attacks on Iran from Israel today were a surprise. This is part of a 4-day strike, and after this, it may extend. So yes, those civilians should take shelter. For how long? We're not sure right now. Back to you, Ellie.
Thank you, Roshan. Please, again, stay with us as we'll join back with you shortly. There is some more breaking news coming in. Oman's Foreign Minister Badr Albusaidi has expressed dismay over the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. He emphasized that neither the United States' interests nor global peace are being served by the escalation. Albusaidi called on the US to avoid further involvement in the ongoing conflict. The statement reportedly comes amid escalating tensions in US-Iran relations, with Oman urging for calm diplomatic solutions. We have some more breaking news coming in. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov held a phone call with his Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi, where he condemned what Russia's foreign ministry has said was an unprovoked armed attack by the US and Israel on Iran, and urged an immediate halt to the strikes.